Good morning, everybody. It's always been interesting to consider that obviously Making a Murderer is such a huge success for Netflix that there's been a lot of debate as to who should play Stephen Avery in the movie of the series. And even as recently as 5 days ago, we had another article which I found quite interesting. Let's pop that up now and let's have a read through. This is, as I say, 5 days ago by Kristen Palamara. 10 actors who could play Stephen Avery in a Making a Murderer movie. Making a Murderer was a huge hit for Netflix back in 2015. If a movie were made on Stephen Avery's life, several actors would fit right into the role. (2015's Making a Murderer was one of Netflix's first big hits in the true crime genre, as people were completely engrossed in the story of Stephen Avery and the complicated real-life tales behind his exoneration and eventual conviction for a different crime. The whirlwind story was entertaining. I would say more compelling. People would watch all 10 episodes one after the other, and it's still continuing in real time as new information about the case is being released, meaning that the documentary might not be the end of Stephen Avery's journey. I certainly don't think so. I agree. A movie might be in the future, and here are some of the best options from dramatic actors like Vincent D'Onofrio to more comedic actors like Danny McBride, who could portray Stephen. So Vincent D'Onofrio has a long career in the industry, from movies like Full Metal Jacket, portraying a deranged soldier, in the Netflix series Daredevil, portraying a villainous kingpin criminal. That means there's no questioning his impressive acting range. D'Onofrio could easily transform into Avery for a movie, as the two already look somewhat similar, and D'Onofrio has proved his acting is more than capable to be considered for the role. What do you reckon? Look similar? Jim O'Heir. Jim O'Heir is best known for his role as Jerry on Parks and Recreation, and whilst most of his filmography is comedic, it's undeniable how much O'Heir resembles Steve. A haircut and facial hair easily make the two look very alike, and means that O'Heir should be considered for a role if the movie is made. Because most of O'Heir's work has been comedic, doesn't mean he can't shift into a more dramatic role. Paul Walter Hauser has gained some notoriety for his recent role in Clint Eastwood's Richard Jewell, and has had prominent yet more comedic roles in I, Tonya and Cobra Kai. Hauser resembles the real-life Avery and has experience portraying a real-life person, Jewell, who had complicated interactions with law enforcement, which is why it makes sense he would be able to portray Avery in a similar way. And 7, Michael Harney. Michael Harney is best known for his portrayal of prison guard Sam Healy on Netflix's Orange is the New Black, and his guest work in several police procedural dramas. Harney has an extensive career in projects concerning law enforcement, so it makes sense for him to be considered for a role like Stephen Avery, especially since Harney resembles Steve already. Now this is a good one. Pillow Asbach, or Asbach, guest starred on Game of Thrones as Euron Greyjoy for multiple episodes. And as they point out here, he also has a striking resemblance to the younger Stephen Avery, unlike some of the other candidates listed. Yep, definitely see that. Yeah. If a movie version of Avery's story wanted to follow the entire timeline, one would have thought that's absolutely essential, because it's early on that's the important bit, and show a younger Avery than Asbuck would be a perfect option to portray him throughout the early stages. Zach G is arguably still best known for his breakout role in the successful comedy The Hangover. However, he also starred in the comedic drama Baskets that ran for multiple seasons on FX, and the more dramatic comedy It's Kind of a Funny Story. Zach G's filmography proves that he can be successful in a more dramatic role, and his similar looks to Avery make him a good choice for the role. And certainly he's one that's often been quoted, as of course is Brad Pitt and Billy Bob Thornton, that don't actually make it onto the list here. But I get the fact that they're trying to get people that look a little bit like Steve to begin with, or have certain physical characters, similar characteristics. Danny McBride is another actor that balances between drama and comedy with great success, and has created and starred in several projects, including his HBO series Eastbound and Down, Vice Principals, and The Righteous Gemstones. McBride could easily be made to look more like Avery to portray him in a movie, as they already share some similarities. His filmography proves he could deliver in the role as well. Bill Hader. Bill Hader might not look exactly like Stephen Avery, but it could be believable with facial hair and possibly some minimal prosthetics. Hader's knack for building impersonations, as he did on Saturday Night Live, pretty much ensures he could portray a real-life person if given time to nail the voice and mannerisms. Bill Hader's success with HBO's Barry also proves that the comedic actor has absolutely no issue slipping into a more dramatic and serious role, especially one involved in the wrong side of the law. Neil McDonough. McDonough is a prolific character actor known for losing himself in a role, whether it's as the lovable Dum Dum Dugan in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, or a sophisticated villain like in Justified. McDonough is undeniably a great actor with a dramatic filmography. McDonough's unique and striking look would be perfect to portray Stephen Avery, and his filmography proves he can approach just about any type of role with success. One, Michael Shannon. Michael Shannon is known for playing villains, but he can also give them a more dynamic and dramatic performance, and even slip into a more comedic role from time to time. The actor's range from Take Shelter to Knives Out proves he shouldn't have an issue portraying Steve in a movie. Michael Shannon has already played a real-life figure in the criminal world in The Iceman as hitman Richard Kuklinski. Shannon would be a great option given his acting talent and resemblance to Avery. Well, some interesting thoughts there. But what I would suggest is that it's not just the people that we get to see in Making a Murderer that you need to think about. Here's a little list, my 1 to 10 of iconic lines from the various people. I could have easily done 20. So by all means, pop your favorites in the comments below. But in kind of a chronological order, the first iconic line I've got here is by, remember Steve's very, very first lawyer? She was called Risa Evans, and her iconic line would be, "What a crock of shit." Now, obviously, number 2, again, really, really important. Tom Kasurik. I don't care if you did it or you didn't. I'm going to get you for it. At number 3, I've put Kim Dukat when she says they're not done with Steven Avery. For number 4, I've gone with Dennis Vogel asking Mike Griesbach, is there anything about Gregory Allen in the Steven Avery file? Number 5, probably my favorite because it inspired the Stacey song. And there's been quite a lot of confusion about this. A lot of people think that this was a quote attributed to Alan Avery. It's not. If you watch the footage, you'll see that Dolores hands the phone to Chuck. Chuck simply says to Steve, "Don't get strange." And Steve replies, "I ain't strange." Number 6 for me, Kenneth Peterson. It would be easier to kill Steve than it would be to frame him. At number 7, Dean Stram. The strong current that the state is supposed to be swimming against is the presumption of innocence, or words to that effect. Well, number 7. And of course, number 8, who can forget Tom Fallon? They do so at their peril. Number 9, there had to be a Ken Kratz quote, but one of my favorites is when he's rumbled by Ryan Foley. And he says, "This is a non-news story, Ryan." And of course, we have to have Alan Avery. But again, one of our favorite lines of his is, "I eat them, bugs and all." Okay, as I say, pop your favorites in the comments below, and then let's see where we get to with them. Okay. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you all again soon. Bye for now.